Europe accuses US of profiting from war. What was Russia hoping for is now happening in the open. Many EU officials have now started to openly accuse US for unethical way of doing things which harm the EU-US relations. From the beginning of the war in Ukraine, it was a very clear fact that the United States going to earn a lot of profits from this war. On one hand, US weapons industry is having a great time, and on the other, US LNG is being sold to Europe at a considerably high price. But now the EU officials attack Joe Biden over sky-high price of gas, weapon sales, and the trade. With Joe Biden's administration and now accuse the Americans of making a fortune from the war, while EU countries suffer. The latest addition to the pain of Europe is the Inflation Reduction Act, and which has changed everything. One EU diplomat said, "Is Washington still our ally or not?" The growing dispute over Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, a huge tax, climate, and healthcare package, has put fears over transatlantic trade war high on the political agenda again. The Inflation Reduction Act is very worrying, said Dutch Trade Minister. The potential impact on the European economy is very big. The explosive comments came from public, private officials, diplomats, and ministers elsewhere too, following mounting anger in Europe over American subsidies that threaten to wreck European industries. "We are really at a historic juncture," the senior EU official said. "America needs to realize that the public opinion is shifting in many European countries." Another top official of the EU chief diplomat, Joseph Borrell, also commented and called Washington to respond to European concerns. "Americans, our friends, take decisions which have an economic impact on us," he said. The biggest point of tension in recent weeks has been Biden's green subsidies and tax that Brussels say unfairly tilt trade away from the EU and threaten to destroy European industries. As they attempt to reduce their reliance on Russian energy, EU countries are turning to gas from the United States instead. But the price Europeans pay is almost 4 times as high as the same fuel costs in America. It's a huge change. French President Emmanuel Macron earlier said high US gas prices were not friendly, and even Germany's economic minister has called on Washington to show some more solidarity and help reduce the energy costs. When EU leaders tackled Biden over high US gas prices at the G20 meeting in Bali last week, the American president simply seemed unaware of the issue. Cheaper energy has quickly become a huge competitive advantage for American companies too. Businesses are planning new investments in the US or even relocating their existing businesses away from Europe to United States. Just this week, chemical multinational Solvay announced it's choosing the US over Europe for new investments, and this is big trouble for Europe. Do you think the Europe will be able to tackle this issue effectively? Do let us know in the comments.